Hello and welcome to the University of Arizona's FAQ series, Financial Aid Questions. My name is Stephanie Basich and I'm the Director for Undergraduate Recruitment and an Assistant Dean of Admissions. And I am joined today with Rebecca Salcedo, our Director for Scholarships and Financial Aid. Rebecca, thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure, Stephanie.
Today's series is about how students can qualify for financial aid. That's a question I know that your office and my office receive often from students and families. So can you share a little bit about the steps that students and families need to know about in order to receive aid?
Absolutely. Well, the first and most important step in applying for financial aid is to apply to the University of Arizona. The application to the University of Arizona is students' application for institutional scholarships. And so applying is absolutely the first step, and that application will help students be considered for institutional merit aid. In addition to that, students frequently want to be considered for federal aid or need-based aid, and in order to do that, they need to fill out a FAFSA. FAFSA stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. And that is an application that is available every October 1st. And so students fill out that application using their prior tax year's information. So this year, as students apply for the 18-19 academic year, they'll be using their 2016 taxes. And because the FAFSA is a process you have to fill out every year, the next year they'll use the prior tax year as well. So by completing the FAFSA, students are being considered for additional aid. The important part about the FAFSA is to make sure that students and families include U of A school code on their FAFSA. Our school code is listed on the presentation. It's 001083. And for transfer students who might have already filled out a FAFSA to attend another institution, they want to make sure that they add U of A school code to their FAFSA. So once a student has filled out a FAFSA, we do have a priority date of March 1st. And so while the FAFSA is available in October, we do hope that students fill it out before March 1st. If students miss the March 1st deadline, it's not too late. It's still important to make sure that they fill out a FAFSA, but if they can before March 1st, that is best.
So you mentioned already two types of aid that students can receive. You talked about merit scholarships and you talked about the federal financial aid. Can you go over with us some of the other types of aids that students should be aware of?
Absolutely. So there's a couple different types of financial aid. There are scholarships, which could be both institutional merit scholarships or outside scholarships. We have a resource here at U of A called Scholarship Universe, where students can log in and apply for additional scholarship opportunities. And so that's another form of aid that students should for sure utilize. And then there are grants, and grants are need-based aids that can include the federal Pell Grant or some University of Arizona grants, and students have to fill out the FAFSA to be considered for those. There are loans. There's loans for students and there's loans for parents, and so it's important that families go on the financial aid webpage to read the details about those different types of loans. And then there's federal work study, which is essentially student employment, and so we do encourage that all students, whether they've been awarded federal work study or not, consider working on campus because it's just a great opportunity for students. But if a student does have a federal work study award, then they would find a job on campus and then get paid in the form of paychecks. And all of that information is on the financial aid webpage, and there's a link to that. Our webpage has all sorts of information about the different types of financial aid, FAQs, as well as any links to any forms if a student needs to fill that out as well.
And as you mentioned, step one is applying to the University of Arizona. And so for students that need assistance with that process, want to reach out and talk to an admissions counselor, visit campus to help make their decision, or start the application itself, the admissions website is a great tool to do all of those things. There's also an email account, and you can always call the office as well to ask questions to start the ball rolling. Thank you, Rebecca, so much for joining us today, and thank you for tuning in for our series, and we hope that you watch the other videos in our FAQ series. Thank you.